All right, we are live. That's what the screen says. Good morning. It's Michael Knight in New York. Vinny. Michael is taking a day off today. He might be along a little bit later. He's a little under the weather. So I wanted to join you for a couple of different reasons. Last night was a great night for Seattle baseball fans. No, how you, no matter how you cut it was a great weekend for Seattle baseball fans. And I think that we have discovered that we have a new superstar in our midst. Now, I don't think at the beginning of the year when they signed catcher Cal Raleigh that they had a thought in the world that he was going to turn out to be what he is. But right now, you got to put him in there for, at the very least, MVP. I do think he should have been the game's All-Star MVP. And to be honest with you, one of the best moves that the Mariners have made in a long, long time. Now, again, the Mariners seem to get caught in these 1-2 year phenomenons. I mean, remember 2 years ago with Rodriguez, with Julio, and a few years back with somebody. I mean, it just seems like every couple of years they get somebody. He's fantastic. And the second year, he just goes off the chips. I got a feeling that that's not going to happen with Cal Raleigh. I got a feeling that Cal Raleigh is a kind of built for Seattle guy. You know how Dan Wilson was when he came here was a built for Seattle catcher. I know he came from the Reds. He came from Ohio, the Chicago area. Actually, he came from Indiana. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Illinois or Indiana, but right on the line. But you could tell that the relation was there. The relation was there when he got to the clubhouse. The relation was there with his manager. And together, the manager, the pitching coach, and the catcher handled all of the pitchers they had, whether they had a tank full of good pitchers, a tank full of so-so pitchers. Think of the pitchers they had in those days. And they were able to, except for 99 and 98, they struggled. But in 95, 96, and 97, they were legitimate contenders. They made some right moves. Yeah, they gave up some great players in those years. Woody Woodward was doing the trading then, but my friend, I'm here to tell you that my opinion is you don't give up those players, you don't get to the playoffs. And in this convoluted baseball world, and if you don't believe it's a convoluted baseball world, look at the way that All-Star game ended last night. The people that make up the rules at Major League Baseball ought to be embarrassed to end a baseball game like that. It's a joke. It was an embarrassment nationally, and I don't care if you like the long ball or you don't like the long ball. It was a game. It should have been played till its conclusion. Not this hockey shootout crap that that somebody, I'll take it, it's Rob Manfred and a bunch of his young kids that, although, again, this may be the way of the game of the future. But Cal Raleigh certainly had himself a night last night. And he put the he put the go-ahead run on. The other thing I like about Cal Raleigh is he's happy to be there, and he shows it. There are players that you see from time to time, and nobody, they're there, they're happy, they'll smile, they'll talk to you. But this guy is happy, his family is happy. This is a baseball family. They want their father throws the ball to them. The young brother catches the ball. They're all into it. And I could find no better. I mean, you think about it. There was no better scene last night, I thought, of a fan, of a person who took up the reins, the bat, and said that this is it. This is what we want. So anyway, you'll have to excuse me. I'm a little under the weather this morning. I had an accident, and I don't feel too good. So this is going to be a short show. But I wanted to jump on with the friends of this show and get your thoughts on what you thought about last night's game. You can just directly email me at Vinny at drivetime-radio. You can do the comments, and I'm going to have the comments turned on in a moment. And you can send a comment in, and we can talk about the game if this damn machine will work. Well, you could send your comments in, and we'll get them directly, and we can put them up on stage. But again, when you go to now I don't know where you watched it. I couldn't watch it at home because I had they wanted to get me for another $15. So I went to a bar and watched it, which is another thing that's wrong with this game. And I'm sure that we are going to straighten out some of the things that are wrong with this game before I get off this moral foil. But the Seattle Mariners all-star crew all ought to be applauded. I think they're more than recognized and more than I think they're more than recognized and more that they've had a lot of stuff tossed at them this season. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of things go down, but I still will gather that this is the best team in baseball. I know you're going to say I'm a homer and this and that, but say what you want. Curse me all you want. Just make sure you're here at 10 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. because we are going to be here talking Mariner baseball. And we hope to, for the rest of the season, light up and get those Mariners going. You know, what they don't seem to have is a push from the radio stations. What the radio stations doesn't have is to give you, the voice of the fan, a place to play, a place to talk, a place to let them know what you think. So we're going to give it to you here. I know it's not radio. I know you're going to have to find us, but you can take us with you. We will have interviews. We'll have guests, but we will talk about the Mariners, and we will get them going. And if I got to get down to the park every night and get a player every night, they sweep the Detroit Tigers. Rolling into this, I'm so happy that Raleigh picked his teammates around Serena. Had Raleigh had his father, his younger brother, and that I don't know. Listen, I've grown not to like the All-Star game, but there is something. I mean, here in Cal Raleigh, you have a guy that's gone from being in a meadow somewhere, having his old man chuck the rock to him. He catches the rock. He finally gets the ball, and now he's catching the ball every day. Gets into play. He knows the skills because his father has taught him. His father is getting him out there and practicing every day. No hard stuff, but he's practicing. And what's happening while he's practicing is that he is gaining skills, learning how to get that foot down, learning how to show that ball. Learning how to look at the field when there's runners on. And he's turning into a damn fine catcher. So I will play that. Other Mariners that were supposed to get on there for some reason aren't on. You'll have to excuse me. I only knew I was going to do this a second before the show. And my New York Times is I can't seem to find the Seattle Times or the New York Times to give you an idea In case you didn't see it last night, the chronological order of what happened. But you know what happened in the home run derby the night before. Um, this kid, Cal Raleigh, could very well win the MVP. This kid, Cal Raleigh, who a number of Mariners fans wanted to get him out of here before this year. You know, they should never let the fans say what they mean. Just seems that the fans had nothing to say. Anyway, the American League wins the game last night. I'm not even worried about the score of the game because the score of the game to me doesn't matter. They say the American League won because two guys hit two balls up into the fence. Can you imagine what Ruth and Gehrig and Tony Cloninger and Bob Gibson and Don Drysdale and Tom Seaver, pitchers who pitched 12, 13, 14 innings into an all-star game. Players who got a game because they got into the game because they thought that they could use them in the end, and they got their only appearance and they won a game in the 13th and the 14th inning. The people come there to see players, not to see people hit balls against a wall. So, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow morning with drive time, and then I will be doing some stuff during the week. You can bet on it on the Vinny channel. As we go on, Michael is rested. He should be back next week, too, and we'll continue the conversation, okay? Have yourself a very, very restful weekend. Let's go Mariners. Let's go Mets. Let's go Giants. And let's get back into it for the second half of the season. It should be a good one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.